Daniel Schilling's bear attack. He was eaten alive. Daniel Schilling, a 46-year-old carpenter hailing from Alaska, disappeared in July 2020 while working on a makeshift road in the treacherous terrain of the Kenai Mountains. It is believed that his disappearance was the result of a bear attack, and this is the account of his harrowing ordeal. Daniel, an intrepid outdoorsman, was a man who relished the challenge of navigating the rugged, untamed wilderness of Alaska's highlands. With only his trusty four-legged companion by his side, he thrived in the solitude of working solo amidst the rocky terrain. His cabin, strategically located a few kilometers away from the paved road that connected Hopetown to the Seward Highway, served as his home base from which he embarked on his daily excursions to continue his work on the trail. Nestled in a picturesque location about 25 miles southeast of Anchorage, Daniel's cabin offered breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains and valleys. As he woke up on July 29, 2020, he was greeted by a clear blue sky that stretched out endlessly before him, an awe-inspiring sight that left him spellbound. Despite the challenges posed by the unforgiving terrain and harsh weather conditions, Daniel was filled with a sense of excitement and adventure every time he set out on foot from his cabin to explore the wilderness. As he stepped out of his cabin, he took a deep breath of the crisp, invigorating mountain air and gazed out at the sweeping vista of snow-capped peaks and pristine forests that surrounded him. With his faithful canine companion by his side, Daniel set off on his daily trek, ready to take on whatever challenges the untamed terrain had in store for him. For Daniel, every day was an opportunity to push himself to his limits and experience the unparalleled beauty and majesty of the Alaskan wilderness. With a sense of purpose and determination, Daniel prepared himself for the day ahead. He knew the importance of being fully equipped in the rugged wilderness of Alaska, and so he carefully donned his kit, which included a pair of sturdy boots and a bear spray canister that he clipped securely to his belt. Additionally, he had a firearm stowed away in his rucksack, just in case he encountered any dangerous wildlife. As an experienced outdoorsman, Daniel had learned the value of carrying bear spray instead of a weapon during his construction job. The bulk and weight of a shotgun or rifle could slow him down and hinder his movements, making it more difficult to navigate the rough terrain. With bear spray, he could defend himself from any potential attacks while also maintaining his agility and mobility. After putting on his gear, Daniel set out on foot to begin his day's work on the trail. He knew that he wouldn't be able to stay away from his cabin for too long, so he planned to return later in the day for a quick lunch break. As he walked, he whistled to his trusty canine companions, who eagerly followed him towards the route he was constructing. The work was demanding and progress was slow. Daniel had to carefully cut down saplings and branches, making sure to clear a safe and stable path through the tundra. His dogs roamed around the surrounding woods, sniffing and exploring as they went. Despite the difficulty of the task at hand, Daniel persevered, taking his time to ensure that every step he took was deliberate and measured. As the midday sun beat down on him, Daniel stopped for a rest, wiping the sweat from his forehead and taking a sip of water from his bottle. He knew that he still had a long way to go before he could call it a day, but with his dogs by his side and his trusty equipment at the ready, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Before we move on to the unexpected attack, I would appreciate it if you would give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Let's move on to the unexpected attack. Without warning, a massive brown bear burst through the bushes, catching Daniel completely off guard. He had barely enough time to react as the ferocious animal charged towards him at a breakneck speed. Instinctively, Daniel reached for his bear spray canister, his heart racing as he aimed and sprayed the contents directly at the charging grizzly. Despite his quick reflexes and best efforts, the bear was too fast and too powerful, and before Daniel knew it, he was on the ground, struggling to catch his breath. The sheer force of the bear's impact had knocked the wind out of him, leaving him gasping for air as the massive animal pinned him to the ground with his massive paws. Frantically, Daniel thrashed about desperately, trying to fend off the attacking bear. He knew that every second counted, and he could feel the weight of the animal bearing down on his chest, making it difficult for him to breathe. With all his might, he tried to strike the bear, hoping to fend off its relentless assault, and survived the vicious attack. Daniel repeatedly slapped the beast, but instead of backing down, the bear became more agitated. It let out a deep growl, showing its teeth and drooling as it lunged forward, its head almost hitting Daniel's face. The bear then slid down and clawed at Daniel's chest again. The attack, vicious and chilling. The outcome of the attack was not known, but Daniel's dog returned home without him. When his wife saw the dog arrive alone, she immediately contacted his friends. They had never seen him venture into such thick forest before, and Daniel himself had not noticed the bear until it was almost upon him. If Daniel's companion's claim of having a revolver in his bag was true, it is doubtful that he would have had enough time to use it. It is possible that Daniel's dog had alerted him to the bear's presence, giving him some warning. Alternatively, it is also possible that the dog had somehow provoked the bear. However, nobody can say for sure what actually happened. When Daniel's wife contacted his friends and raised the alarm, they set out to check on him. They followed the path that Daniel had made through the bushes, which stretched for just over a mile. At one point, Daniel's companion came to a stop. It was there that they discovered Daniel's lifeless body, lying on the ground, bleeding and clearly deceased. In that heart-wrenching moment, they immediately contacted the local police station to inform them of the tragic news. Daniel's wife and friends were in utter disbelief at the news of his passing. As an experienced outdoorsman, they knew that his knowledge and hunting skills had served him well over the years. However, their worlds were now turned upside down. State wildlife scientists were dispatched to the site, where the scent of pepper spray still lingered in the air. They found an empty canister approximately 15 feet away from Daniel's body. Despite conducting a thorough search of the area, no evidence of a bear, such as a dead moose or other food source, was found. Although Daniel had been working within 6 miles of a salmon spawning stream, authorities did not believe he was close enough to the attack location to be considered prey. Field scientists made a puzzling discovery, detecting both black bear and brown bear DNA on Daniel's body. Usually both black and brown bears coexist peacefully, and black bears tend to avoid larger grizzlies. However, given that both species were present at the location of the attack, researchers hypothesized that they may have collaborated in attacking Daniel. This, however, is highly unlikely, as bears are solitary animals and do not hunt in pairs or groups. In fact, different subspecies of bears do not typically mix socially, and brown bears have been known to kill black bears. So, what happened to Daniel? The most probable explanation is that he unwittingly disturbed a large female brown bear, who then attacked him. The bear was likely not hunting him for food, but rather felt threatened and scared. By attacking Daniel, she was defending her territory and removing the perceived threat. Bears often cover up their kill to protect it from other predators and scavengers so that they can come back to it later. There was no indication that Daniel's body had been partially buried or concealed, and there was no surrounding vegetation disturbed. While bear spray can cause irritation to a bear's eyes and nose upon contact, it can also attract bears. In this case, it is likely that a black bear was drawn to the scene by the scent of the spray or the presence of a fresh kill. This would explain the presence of a bear at the location, as the spray may have been effective during the initial attack. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game, who conducted the investigation, concluded that Daniel's death was likely caused by a malfunctioning canister of bear spray. Cans produced between March and August of that year were believed to be defective. There is a significant criticism of the effectiveness of bear spray, particularly in relation to wind direction, which can cause the spray to drift away from its intended target. The day after Daniel's death, an aerial survey of the area revealed the presence of 2 black bears and 1 brown bear within several kilometers of his location. It's likely that additional bears were also in the area, but were not detected by authorities. DNA analysis of swabs taken from Daniel's body and clothing indicated that 2 female bears were involved in the attack. A week after the incident, wildlife scientists killed 3 female black bears and 1 female grizzly bear. While DNA evidence from one of the black bears was found at the scene of the attack, the DNA of the animal did not match the DNA found on Daniel's body. The effectiveness of pepper spray as a bear deterrent is a controversial topic. Some believe that entering bear territory without a high-powered rifle is risky. However, park rangers and wildlife experts often recommend using bear spray as a first line of defense. Nonetheless, studies have shown that bear spray may actually attract some bears. In the 1990s, researchers observing bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park observed that many of the bears rolled and played in the sprayed areas. They rubbed the spray residue directly from a can aggressively all over their body, causing a stinging sensation in their eyes and nostrils, but it failed to repel the approaching bear. The motive behind Daniel's attack remains unknown, and whether it was protective or predatory is unclear. However, it has been confirmed that he was killed by a female brown bear, notorious for attacking anyone who comes near her cubs, often leading to the victim's tragic death. In the end, the gruesome details of Daniel Schilling's bear attack will forever remain etched in the minds of those who knew him, a tragedy that serves as a stark reminder of the brutal and unforgiving reality of nature, where one wrong move can mean the difference between life and death. But for those who were there that fateful day, the memory of seeing a man being eaten alive by a ferocious bear will haunt them for the rest of their lives. As we bring today's story to a close, let us hope that the trials and tribulations recounted will never cross your path in this lifetime. Grateful for the unwavering support of all of you, we bid farewell with the belief that fate shall steer you towards a smoother path, devoid of the harrowing ordeals that others have faced.